Hey C3 family, welcome to day 5 of NovemberFast. It's another great day to partner with the Holy Spirit, the revealer of all truth, and ask Him for a revelation and strategy to experience the abundance that God intends in 2021. Today our theme is learning from your losses. So let's dive in. Over the last few days, we've done a lot of looking back at 2020. Today we're going to look back again, but this time, we're not looking for wins, and we're not looking for answered prayer. In fact, today as we look back, we're looking for traffic accidents, failure, situations that didn't work out. Today I want you to look back and to identify one or two things that you set out to accomplish, but they didn't work out. You got involved with a business venture, and it failed. Your new greatest, most amazing employee turned out to be a dud. You took over leading a ministry, and it tanked. You tried to fix a situation, and instead of it getting better, it got much, much worse. Maybe it's just me. The reason why I want you to look back is because too often we experience failure, and we just keep moving forward thinking to ourselves, well, I guess that wasn't meant to be. Or, I'm never getting involved with that again. Or, I guess God just wasn't in that. But there's an incredible value in revisiting failure in order to take a better look at its cause. It could be that what you were attempting to do was really good and it was something that God wanted for you to do, but maybe just your method was off, or maybe the people involved were not the right people, or the timing was wrong. It really is important to get together with the Lord to figure out why something just didn't work out. Because it may be something that you need to go back and do again, but this time to do it the right way and win. Do you remember how God spoke to Joshua to lead the Israelites out of the desert and finally go in and take the land He promised to them? And as they did, they miraculously defeated the city of Jericho. Well, the next city, Ai, was much smaller and required much less effort. But in Joshua chapter 7, his army was defeated. It was a complete shock. How could it be that when they went to do the very thing God called them to do, they were unable to do it? Did they hear wrong? Maybe God didn't mean to take Ai. Maybe they just should move on and take all the other cities. Or maybe it was God's will to teach them humility after such a big victory in Jericho. I absolutely love that after the loss, Joshua in chapter 7 verse 6 tore off his clothes and fell to the earth on his face before the ark of the Lord until evening. Ultimately, Joshua wanted to learn the lesson of the loss so he could move forward to the best things God had for him. In the process, he discovered that there was a fly in the ointment in the ranks of his military, and God said, "Get the fly out, go back, and win." And that is exactly what happened. Coming into 2020, Rowena and I were talking through two different investment opportunities we had. We researched, we prayed. Overall, we felt pretty good about both of them. The first was a long-term venture in an arena we had a lot of experience in, and after some research and discussion and prayer, we pulled the trigger and got started. The second was a short-term venture. It was less work than the first, but it was also an incredibly cool project that would be high profile and a lot of fun. The downside, we had little experience in this arena, and if it went south, it could impact some valuable relationships. It was then that Rowena began expressing concerns about the second project. She felt like two projects at one time might just be a little too much. She was also concerned about the downsides of the second one. I could see where she was coming from, but I really wanted to do the second one too. And ultimately, I convinced her that we could do both, and she trusted me. I know, you're shaking your head because you can tell right now how this whole thing turns out. The first venture has paid off beyond our wildest dreams. The second venture absolutely crashed and burned. We burned a lot of emotional calories, we lost as much money as we invested in the first project, and unfortunately some long-term relationships were damaged in the process. That type of loss could make anyone walk away and say, I guess God just wasn't in that. But without taking the time to look closer, I wouldn't learn several key lessons. And I might not ever take a similar God-ordained risk again. So like Joshua, I was able to sit down with Rowena and the Lord and come up with a few takeaways after my dismal failure. And here they are. First, I have an entrepreneurial drive and a gifting, and it's all from God, and I should never put that on the shelf, even when I fail. Secondly, unless God audibly speaks, I should ignore sexy investments and stick with what I know. Third, I need to listen to my wife more closely. She is God's gift in my life and very equipped to help me navigate to His very best. If she doesn't have a green light, then I shouldn't have a green light either. I think you get it. So for your assignment today, I want you to write down and revisit one or two of those bad experiences and ask the Holy Spirit, maybe even ask your spouse, why didn't that work? What are the takeaways? What can I carry into the next battle that will better secure a win? Do I need to go back and give that battle another shot? Be sure and record those in today's entry for your journal. So let's jump into the assignment, followed by your reading in Proverbs chapter 5, followed by your prayer time. And when you're all done, don't forget to leave a comment by using the link just under the title of this blog post so we can all share in the conversation. Have another fantastic day.